Now at 5:30, another violent weekend in Miami-Dade County. 3 people are dead, including children, following an overnight shooting near the Homestead Air Reserve Base in what police are calling a murder-suicide. Police say a man killed his girlfriend, a 15-year-old boy also, and then turned the gun on himself. In Miami Beach, police arrested and charged a 24-year-old woman, Taneria Holt, with a shooting along the Julia Tuttle Causeway. The shooting left a woman fighting for her life at Jackson Memorial Hospital. And while those incidents of gun violence are concerning, it's what's behind the recent mass shootings that's worrying South Florida law enforcement.
Yeah, we're all trying to understand this together. And as we continue to examine the causes for the increase in gun violence in our community, one issue keeps arising: the role of social media. Too often, what starts as a feud on Instagram or Facebook quickly escalates into violent retaliation.
On Sunday, CBS 4's Jim DeFede spoke to 3 community leaders about this. State Senator Jason Pizzo, who tried unsuccessfully to tackle the issue legislatively, former NAACP President Ruban Roberts, and Hilton Napoleon, the legal advisor for the nonprofit group Parents of Murdered Kids.
The bill would have allowed for law enforcement to have contact with individuals who are unlawfully possessing firearms.
And what does that contact look like? What would that contact look like?
Well, I mean, it could be, preferably, it would be contact away from the home, and then specifically not at, 4 a.m. kicking down a door, because it wouldn't be an exception for an arrest warrant. It'd be an exception basically for search. And right now, kids know especially that there's really nothing anyone can do about it. I mean, if my son goes on Facebook right now and says, I'm going to shoot up the school tomorrow, absolutely that qualifies for law enforcement to come get them. However, in some weird perversion of the law or the lack thereof, a kid can load and rack a firearm and we can't do anything about it.
I agree that there needs to be more attention to what's happening on social media. But they are cliques. These are not organized gangs. So you don't have a hierarchy that you're dealing with. Police officers can't go to the Bloods or the Crips and say to the leader, listen, we're concerned about what happened over there in Hialeah, Miami Lakes. You can't do that. You have cliques. I don't know if we have the bandwidth or resources to look at every social media conflict that's happening and judge whether or not this is going to escalate to something that is more violent. So there has to be that prevention thing. There has to be an outlet for parents. Each one of those kids are young adults that are involved in the shooting. They go home to someone. They go home to a parent. They go home to a loved one or that sort of thing. The concern of that parent or that loved one is how that kid will be treated if they were to interface with law enforcement. Some of these parents want to turn the kids in. Some of the parents want to, try to get that kid off the street. Some parents, even before it escalates to the point to where the kid is involved in the violent crime or murder, have made several attempts to engage the criminal justice system.
Most kids in the inner city, and the statistics will show this, most of them make it out okay. It's just the things that we see on TV, and there is a big problem. But what Ruben is basically saying, for a kid in the inner city to go and have a gun and to post it on social media, he's far, far away than the typical average kid that's already there. So the ones who are out there posting this on social media, they are down that path already. They're not the ones who you see doing other positive things in the community or trying to get their lives together. They're down that path and they have a very, very narrow scope. And it's almost like, have they gone too far already? We need to catch them before they get to the point where they're flashing guns. Most of the mothers in our organization do not have closure. I can talk for hours, probably days, about the reasons why. But at the end of the day, we want closure. They demand closure, and it's not happening.
You can see more of the conversation tonight at 7 and also find it online on CBSMiami.com.